Hello, everybody. Wow, it's not a lot's been happening either in my life or in the news, has there uh, been? So I just figured I'd jump on for a little while and just hang out with people, have a chill and relaxing stream with lots of viewer interaction, as Dark Side Phil would say. I have to give credit. Salvi on the server came up with the idea that I should start calling it, instead of the full scale invasion, the full time invasion, because of how DSP referred to it as his full time girlfriend when he started dating Leanna. So there's that. There's that. But yeah. So maybe I'll do a separate video on it, but I'm sure I'll repeat it because not many people are here yet. But or you know what? I'll hold off a minute, a couple minutes to see if anybody's going to show up, and then we'll talk about me being banned off of YouTube for being an AI slop channel, and my Odysee to try to get it back. I just want to say I said this in my post coming back, but I know a lot of people posted or emailed YouTube or did or prayed for me. I just want to say thank you to everybody who stood by me in this time of troubles. It's much appreciated and it won't be forgotten. I was kind of surprised how many people were like, Arjun, I don't want to see your channel go. And it was touching. So I don't know. I guess I'll just in future I'll just have to be more. I'll try to be more diligent, I guess, going forward in backing things up and moving things to making sure stuff is mirrored on other platforms. So I guess just so people who are maybe watching this later, by the way, the game is End Zone: A World Apart. I finished actually Terra Invicta, which is insane, but I actually did finish it. So I've been trying to find another like chill game that I can play while I'm doing other stuff. So I settled on this at the moment, and it's pretty fun. I like colony builders. Okay, so what wound up happening? So I was at work Monday morning, or I forget if it was Monday or Tuesday, and I look at my phone and I see your YouTube channel has been removed for. Let me look it up. I kind of don't even want to look at it again, but I'll bring it up just for you guys. Where was it? No, that was wow. It was down for a while. Okay, we have reviewed your content and found. Okay, let me just post this on screen. Just while we're talking about it. Maybe I'll do a separate video. I just kind of didn't feel like it at the moment. It's been a long week. It's also just been a lot of drama and stuff at work. So I'm happy at least this went properly. Okay, so I was at work Monday morning. I was checking my like actual email, and I got this in my inbox. We have reviewed your content and found severe or repeated violations of our spam, deceptive practices, and scams policy. Because of this, we've removed your channel from YouTube. We know this is probably very upsetting news, but it's our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all. If we think a channel severely violates our policies, we take it down to protect other users on the platform. So I submitted a appeal. The appeal was rejected within a minute of it being submitted. Then I went to YouTube support, and YouTube support said, you violated all this stuff. You are just permanently banned. The decision is irreversible, was what I was told by YouTube support. That was so I just trying to figure it out. And from my understanding, when they say it can't be one second. Oh, okay. Let me switch to top chat. Okay. Okay. What was I saying? It's just confusing because it was displaying separate chat in different windows. So, what was I saying? By the way, is this just displaying it as a static image for some reason? Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So, anyways, so I got that. So they said it was irreversible. So I looked around and it said you can get unbanned if you are if you reach out to Team YouTube on Twitter. So I reached out to Team YouTube on Twitter and I was like, guys, could you take a look at my account? I obviously didn't do whatever it was I was being accused of doing. I guess the thing to keep in mind is, like, I was kind of baffled by this because I've always accepted that I could get struck down at some point for hate speech. They don't like my political views or whatever. A lot of people have been banned off of this platform for hate speech. So I always thought that was a possibility, but it wasn't for that. It was spam, scam, and deceptive practices. So appeal, it was pretty obvious that an AI rejected the appeal. When I wrote into YouTube support, it's pretty obvious that was a chat bot that said that there is no way that this can be reinstated or overturned. So yeah, I tweeted at Team YouTube. They responded, surprisingly enough, and just said follow us and we'll message you. So I did that. I messaged them basically saying, look, I don't know what happened. I didn't do anything. What I think it was is I have been going back through some of my older videos and updating the thumbnails and adding in descriptions and tags to them. And I have been using AI to do that. So, like, what I've been doing is I've been taking the transcript of my video. I've been asking like an AI to write it just like a summary of the transcript. And I've been putting that into the description. And I've also been making some thumbnails for older videos. So what I think happened is ironically enough, their AI bot saw all of this and decided that I was an AI slop channel and banned me for being an AI channel. Now, according to the actual terms of service, I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. The AI stuff is only banned if okay. So if it's actual just pure AI content, that's kind of borderline. But the main concern is that a lot of the AI stuff is just not representative of what it is. Like it'll just I don't know. They said it's like low quality, it's repetitive, it's just stolen from somebody else. A big issue is it doesn't represent what it looks like. So, like, the AI will just put up a bunch of clickbait videos and they'll be empty or something. I don't entirely understand what it is. But basically, AI is not permitted if it's spamming. It's low quality content. Low quality content isn't really a judge. That term doesn't judge like whether people like you or not. It means if it's it's what was I saying? Just like a video that just has I don't know. Hopefully people know what people are what I'm trying to refer to. So I didn't actually do anything wrong because I guess to get back to it, the descriptions I was doing were of the actual video. Yes, ChatGPT was writing them, but it was writing them using the transcript from the video to summarize the video. So I don't think I was being because I don't get why that was so that was seen as being misleading or a scam or me like I don't know. People in the chat, am I making sense? I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to explain this stuff, and it's been a long week. Uh, so yeah, so the thumbnails were generated using the title of the video, and I reviewed them. So it would be like, can you do me a video on monarchy? And it would give me like a monarch flag with a imperial looking flag with a crown on it, or something like that. Or it would give me like a directly relevant thumbnail and a directly. So, anyways, so that they determined me updating all that for whatever reason made them think that I was mass posting AI content, so my channel got banned over that. So a bunch of people texted YouTube. I think some people emailed. Shout out to Charlemagne and Bog Beef and the Data Distributist. I appreciate it, guys. And the Prudentialist. I've never really talked to him, but thanks, man. I appreciate it. Also, just Norik and a whole bunch of viewers who were tweeting at YouTube. So they just said, okay, so the response I got from them when I messaged them on Twitter was, we'll look into it. So, yeah, they said, we're looking into it. And I followed up with them a couple of times, and each time they said, we're still looking into it, we'll get back to you, which to my understanding was a good thing because it showed that someone was actually looking at it, and it wasn't just being dismissed out of hand. Like it wasn't just being removed, and I was told that I would never get my channel back. So just today I was at work, yesterday I was at work, and then I just got an email, your channel's been restored. So I got it back. Now, because of all of this, I was doing research on YouTube, on Twitter. So this is happening to a ton of people. Actually, let's bring up Twitter. I refuse to call it X. I just think X is just, it's just, I don't know. I just think X is a dumb name. It's the most like bland, generic, uninteresting name possible. So Okay, so let's see here. Team YouTube. So if you start to go through a list of these, I'm just trying to see here. You'll have, there are like thousands of people who have had their channels removed for being AI channels. Now, a lot of these people are actually AI channels, and they deserve to have their channels banned. But there's a lot of just random people who have their channels removed, and there was even like some really big people, like there's a channel, Neutrality Studies, that was the only one I had actually heard of. Neutrality Studies had their channel banned, and they managed to get it back. But yeah, there's just been a whole bunch of people who have had their channel removed. Now, a lot of these people are, like I said, probably should have their channel removed. But there's a ton of people who just got randomly banned, including people with hundreds of thousands of views. And I mean, let me just see how many in like the last couple of hours. And there was this guy who was putting together a list of people who had been unfairly banned from YouTube, and he made it to like what was I thinking about again? Sorry, I'm kind of tired this week. Yeah, so just like thousands of people have been deleted in the last couple days or the last couple weeks because they implemented some new AI detection system to try to catch people who were using AI to make channels and stuff like that. So I don't know. But anyways, I got my channel back, so I'm happy about that. I'm not gonna like go out and just shit on YouTube or anything. There's something that Michael Savage said that I think is a very pertinent and good thing to say with regards to life. Don't go away mad, just go away. I think is a good way to put it. So I don't know. Now that rambling incoherence is done, I have a work story. So I was trying to look up a public service in the province where I live, and I was just looking at it and like, this information is out of date. It says like 2022 on this. I know for a fact that's not where this office is located. Why is this not work? Why is this out of date? Like, I've noticed that this is like a reoccurring problem. So I've made a friend here who works in government, and I was talking to him, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is this shit never together? And he just told me, he's like, well, the thing is, there's one person for the entire department that approves website updates. And whenever that person gets changed or removed, they reset the update queue. And I was like, what does that mean? They're like, well, they just delete the entire backlog. So however many website changes had been submitted, they just delete all of them. So I was just like, did the updates go to the person? They're like, no, it's using a standard form that goes to a shared mailbox. They just delete all of them whenever the person in that position changes, which is roughly every 6 months. And they don't tell any of the people who submitted the stuff that they need to resubmit it. And I just like, what? He's like, yeah, they want to just start over fresh or something, and I'm just like, so what kind of information is this? And it's like, well, he goes like health information, like access to services, uh, stuff about how to deal with medical emergencies, chemicals that are dangerous that haven't been updated. Basically, a whole bunch of like life and death stuff. We can't get it updated because there's only one person for the entire department who can approve it, and they continually delete it. And I was just like, okay. And he just goes, yeah, that's my life. I've submitted like updates to medical information multiple times, and each time it's the person's changed and it's been deleted. And I was just like, okay. So that happened. We're currently having a crisis at my company because basically, and you could maybe tell this from some of the stories I tell, they spend an inordinate amount of time on DEI stuff, on like cultural training and anti-racism, and going to conferences and hiring Amerindians to come in and speak and stuff like that. I don't have to do too much of it, but the senior and middle management just constantly do this. So the problem is, because they were spending so much time on DEI stuff, there's become this massive backlog of shit. Like we're months behind on approving basic things. Like in some cases up to like 6 months behind on it. So we're having a crisis over that. So they can't cut back on the DEI stuff because it's part of this scheme. So anyways, so yeah, so we're having trouble with that. So the problem is they can't roll back the DEI stuff because one of the reasons why I talk about how my job is stable is they do a lot of subsidy funding from the subsidy farming from the provincial and federal government. So because they do all these DEI programs, they get extra money from the two of them. And they've hired some, like, I don't know, connected people or like minorities or whatever, and put them into important positions. So we get a whole bunch of like government jobs, government contracts, sorry, and subsidies from aggressively pushing this stuff. Also, because they're doing all of this, they're paying all of these organizations to do like this training and stuff. They're also doing business with us, and they're also getting government. So basically, and I've been looking into this, there is this complex in Canada that is really like the gayest way to launder money possible. So basically, I'm just trying to think. Okay, so let me try to explain like how this works in Canada, because I've been reading about this and I've been talking to people. So the various levels of government give huge amounts of money for DEM programs. And by DEM programs, I don't mean like unemployment or welfare or whatever, but the various NGOs who do community organizing or help refugees or provide cultural programming or stuff like that. Some of them actually will do things, but most of the time it's basically just a make work program to buy off specific ethnic demographic groups. So, because NGOs are treated differently than companies, people in government can also sit on the board of these NGOs. So you'll have the people who make the decisions about which NGOs get funding and which cultural organizations get funding who are also working in government and are also on the board of this organization. So what will happen is if you start to look into some of these NGOs, they will have a list of supporters. So, like, I don't know, like, let's say let's say BLM, we'll just say Black Lives Matter, has the First Nation Alliance have each other listed as supporters on their website as like their newsletter on their like supporters page. So if you look into it, the two organizations have service contracts with each other to provide consulting services. So both these organizations are funded by the government, and they both employed each other, and they are listing the consulting services that they are getting from one another as an expense, and they ask for more money each year so that they can spend more money on other organizations that are getting money from the government. And so there's that aspect to it. Also, all of these organized NGOs are also connected to companies. My company has aspects of that too. So the people who are on these boards will throw work to their co-ethnics, who will also lobby the government. So basically, you will have this entire incestuous ecosystem of NGOs, companies run by minorities, and people in government who will just funnel money to each other in some sort of just endless cycle. And it eats up immense amounts of money. And the thing is, none of this stuff can actually be cut because it all involves minorities. So you can't, if you cut anything to do with them, it would be racism. And if you point out that, hey, the people who this company is employing, this NGO is employing, are also directly related to the person who's running the NGO, they'll say that's just, it takes a village to raise a child. It's just the way that indigenous peoples are. You just have to accept that. So there's just this massive, I don't know what you want to call it, grievance industrial complex. I don't know. Like I said, I've been looking into it because, like I said, my company, I sometimes wonder how we survive, but I'm pretty sure it's because of subsidy farming and having incestuous relationships with other people of different ethnic backgrounds. So that's basically how the system works. It's kind of like the military-industrial complex, but much gayer. Let's see here. I posted this today, so I'm going to be honest. I just hate boomers. I hate boomers and I hate spiritual boomers. Now, what is a spiritual boomer? A spiritual boomer is someone who is not technically a boomer, but has the same spirit of a boomer. They embody it in every way. So you'll have a lot of people in their 50s or 60s who are spiritual boomers. I've even had people in their 40s. By the way, Rain's sitting in my lap at the moment. Uh, Even people in their 40s who will be spiritual boomers. So, a key aspect of the spiritual boomer is the spiritual boomer views themselves as inherently superior to people younger than them. They view them as like young whippersnappers, kids these days, whatever. And a core part of that attitude is they think that they're your boss, even if they're not your boss. So even if it's somebody who you may be senior to, because you've been there longer, or you're someone who's at the same like pay grade, like you're both, neither of you is a supervisor, they have the belief that they can just order you around by virtue of them being older. So what will happen is if they have any trouble with any kind of technical thing, because I'm a millennial, they will come to me and basically expect me to drop everything to go solve the problem for them. So this Karen, pardon my use of the K slur, comes to me and says, like, Arjun, I need your help. I've been spending like hours, I can't figure out how to do this thing. And I'm just like, what do you mean? And she's like, I'm about to lose it. I can't even. So I was just like, okay, let's go take a look at it. And she's like, I have this image here, and I have this Word document, and I don't know how to put this image into the Word document. And I'm just like, kind of puzzled, and I'm like, have you tried just copying and pasting it? And she's like, that's some like advanced tech speak. I don't know what that means. I'm old. I don't really understand how computers work. I don't know, that concept just seems very like difficult. I need like a tech expert like you to figure this out for me. So then I did like 2 clicks to put the image in, and she's like, wow, that's amazing. Like, kids these days, like they know all this like advanced technology stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's it's just the digital natives, my generation. And she goes, well, I also am having trouble finding this this other thing. Could you look it up for me? And I'm like, have you tried looking it up? And she's like, no, I haven't, but I'm kind of busy. So could you try to find me that thing about it? So what she was doing is she was doing something for the company newsletter about how Maslow's hierarchy of needs was actually something that he stole from the Blackfoot. And it's an indigenous thing that was whitewashed. If I had more balls, I would have said that was very problematic, that you're trying to take away the achievements of a Jewish immigrant. But I just wanted to get back. I had like actual work I needed to do. So that happened. And there was that. Okay, like Leopold 40, 50, 5450, it doesn't work that way. It like, you can't, in my experience, you can't tell spiritual boomers just click the button that says that. Like, there can be I've had this, there can be an okay button, or there can be a save button, or stuff like that. And they just won't be able to like understand it. I'll be like, click the okay button. They're like, what's an okay button? I'm just like, the button that fucking says okay. And it's just, I don't know. They just don't understand it. And I'll say this. I get that a lot of the time, the shit we have to use doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I hate Microsoft Teams. I fucking despise Microsoft Teams. I think it's unstable, it's slow. I don't think the interface makes any kind of sense. They keep changing the interface constantly. I just think Microsoft Teams is a garbage piece of software, and I hate everything about it. So if somebody comes to me and is like, Arjun, I'm having trouble, I don't know, adding something, like adding a person to a team or something, I'll be like, yeah, I can't figure that shit out either. It sounds like it should be simple, but it's not. Or maybe it's just something common that the person's never had to deal with. And I get it. Like, there's stuff all the time that I've just never had to do. But my issue is more the attitude. The attitude that I'm, like, old or something in my 50s, and I can't be bothered to try to learn to do things or be self-sufficient or whatever. The default is just going to be me asking, like, a millennial or a Zoomer to do it for me. And, like, I get it if it's something technical, like coding or I don't know, like, or a specific program like AutoCAD. But if it's just, like, copying and pasting something, I think you should be able to figure that out if you've worked an office job for 20 years. It's like the admin who didn't know what alphabetical meant or chronological. She's like, I have no idea what that means. So yeah, that's the kind of, like, stuff you have to deal with spiritual boomers, and it's just annoying because once, like, I get it. Just, I'm willing to sit down and help you figure it out, but you're gonna have to work with me and at least put in, like, the minimal amount of effort to try to understand it. But they just don't. I don't know if it's entitlement. I don't know what it is, but they just, in a lot of the cases, they won't. I don't know if people, like, do you guys have similar experiences? Is this just me? Am I just a dick or something? I don't know. I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible with the magic of Disney or something like that. Yeah. So what else? What else has been happening? I don't know. I've been wanting to, I'll do a video at some point about the Epstein stuff. I'm gonna be honest. If you want my, like, overall take on it, I was actually shocked by the whole thing. Like, I was just completely kind of flabbergasted. And I know all these people have been saying, oh, well, we knew all this stuff was happening. We knew all the elites were in bed. We knew everyone was corrupt. I'm going to have to call bullshit on this. I mean, it's one thing to say, like, oh, we suspected that all the, like, the people in power know each other and they're doing stuff behind the scenes. It's another to see Jeffrey Epstein just forwarding the email from, like, the prince of some Gulf country to just some other random guy, and him, like, just getting an email from Macron asking about implementing the social credit system, and then him just forwarding it to the head of the WEF. Like, I don't think that that's really the same thing. Like, I didn't think that there was literally a dude who's whose job was what was it again? Yeah, to just coordinate between, like, all these people. And like Steve Bannon was working with him, Noam Chomsky was. And I think the thing that's also just really disturbing about it is these people were just sucking him off. Like, they were supplicants. They were just begging him for his aid. Begging him for his aid, for his connections, and they were just, I don't know. Like, you see these world leaders who are just begging Epstein for help. And it's kind of beyond like it's beyond like Protocols of the Elders of Zion tier shit. Like, did anybody think that there was actually like a Jewish guy who you just emailed and he like invoked the, like, he just did, like, it's insane. I don't know, have you guys seen the Peter Mandelson stuff? The Peter Mandelson stuff is insane. Okay, so Peter Mandelson, I'll have to do maybe a video on this, but this I think is like the best this is like the best summary of okay, Peter Mandelson. So Peter Mandelson was like Epstein's best friend. So Peter Mandelson is a gay Jewish former communist whose father was the editor of the Jewish Chronicle. I think he was also involved. Yes, he was involved in the Communist Party. So he became the, I don't know, sometime during like the 80s and 90s, he became basically the leader of the Labour Party from behind the scenes. Like, he was the puppeteer behind Blair and Gordon Brown and stuff like that. And he was known as being like the sleaziest, most corrupt person possible. His nickname was the Prince of Darkness. Was his You just repeated yourself 5 times. I'm sorry. Yeah, his name was the Prince of Darkness. Who was fired multiple times from cabinet for corrupt practices. So he was made the ambassador to the United States under Starmer. And what happened the other day, let me see if I can find the clip, because this whole thing was just nuts. Okay, so we have this this creature, Kemi Badnock, but she managed to deliver a Feltoning of truly epic proportions to Starmer.
Did the official security vetting he received mention Mandelson's ongoing relationship with the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein?
So clear. Prime Minister?
Yes, it did. As a result, various questions were put to him. I want to make sure this House sees the full documentation, so it will see for itself the extent to which time and time again Mandelson completely misrepresented the extent of his relationship with Epstein and lied throughout the process.
This is Starmer. Okay, so the gay Jewish guy known as the Prince of Darkness, who's been repeatedly kicked out of corrupt governments because he was too corrupt even for them, lied about his relationship with a pedophile. He was like,
including in response to the due diligence.
Mr. Speaker, I think it is shocking what the Prime Minister...
Yeah, Sneaky Pete. What was the other thing? So the chief of staff and like the other guy who's controlling Starmer, Morgan McSweeney, was the like close friend and protege of Mandelson. So let me just see where that is, because basically Starmer says like, yeah, I know. Let's see here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Him. If I knew then what I know now, Parliament.
I know this is like but this is, I think, just an example. So Mandelson wrote in like, I think he sent like Epstein an email that said, "I'll never abandon you." Like basically, I wish I knew how to quit you. And he like called Epstein his best friend, and he stayed in Epstein's house while Epstein was in jail the first time for trafficking the underage girl. And Starmer knew about this and he was okay with it.
And had continued his friendship even after Epstein's conviction for child prostitution. The latest revelations about Jeffrey Epstein. All of us want to see his victims get justice.
By the way, Badenoch is like an atheist. How they were able to find a first generation like African atheist to be the leader of the Conservative Party, I don't know. Because normally that's like the one thing you can rely on them for.
But the political decision to appoint Epstein's close associate, Peter Mandelson, as Britain's ambassador to Washington goes to the very heart of this Prime Minister's judgment. When he made that appointment, was he aware that Mandelson had continued his friendship even after Epstein's conviction for child prostitution?
Simple question. Mr. Speaker, let me start where I must with the victims of Epstein, and all of our thoughts are with them. Can I also say our thoughts are with all those who lost jobs, savings and livelihoods in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crash. To learn that there was a cabinet minister leaking sensitive information at the height of the response.
By the way, so if you guys haven't seen the Epstein files with Mandelson, so they were having like an email saying, "Oh, we're going to sell off some British state assets," and Mandelson just hit the forward button and just sent it to Epstein, like just the internal cabinet document, like we're selling these assets off. He just hit the forward button, like it's fucking insane. And they were going to tax, I think, bankers' bonuses or something, and Epstein called
the 2008.
Like, why would you trust a dude named the Prince of Darkness? So, like, Starmer is either he's so fucking stupid that he believed, like, the most notorious figure in British politics, whose nickname compares him to Satan.
Crash is beyond infuriating. Mandelson betrayed our country, our parliament, repeatedly to my team, ambassador, who now speaking title this
question. Mr. Speaker, I asked the Prime Minister a very specific question. Did he know that Mandelson had continued his friendship with Epstein after the conviction? He says if he knew then what he knows now, but he did know. In January 2024, a journalist from the Financial Times informed the Prime Minister that Mandelson had stayed in Epstein's house even after that conviction for child prostitution. So did the Prime Minister conveniently forget this fact, or did he decide it was a risk worth taking?
Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, as the House would expect, we went through a process. There was a due diligence exercise, and then there was security vetting by the security services. What was not known was the sheer depth and extent of the relationship. He lied about that to everyone for years. And new information was published in September.
He stayed at the dude's house. He wrote them a card like, I wish I knew how to quit you.
September, showing the relationship was materially different to what we'd been led to believe.
Also, let's pretend that this is real. How bad is the British government's intelligence that they can't figure this shit out? But I don't know, I do think that this is a real story. They've been attacking Prince Andrew and a bunch of other assholes, but arguably the most powerful person for the last 30 years plus in British politics was forwarding Epstein shit, and everybody knew about it and no one cared.
When the new information came to light, I sacked him. But we did go through a due diligence exercise. The points that are being put to me were dealt with within that exercise. Make sure that all of the material, the only exemptions are national security. We draw also appreciation of securities without compromising the relationship. To speak.
Okay, so they're going to release the so Starmer's saying we're going to release some of the documents of the screening of Mandelson and his relationship with Epstein, but we have to censor it, and here's why.
Speaker, you in the House will appreciate that in the course of discussions country to country, there are very sensitive issues of security, intelligence and trade, which cannot be disclosed without compromising the relationship between the two countries or a third country. Mr. Speaker,
wait a minute, so they have to retract aspects of... Okay, so they were taught... Okay, so they have to retract parts of it because it might damage the relationship of the UK with another country if all of it was revealed. I wonder what this other country is.
Be totally open with the House. I should also disclose that the Metropolitan Police have been in touch with my office this morning to raise issues about anything that would prejudice their investigations. We're in discussion with them about that, and I hope to be able to update the House, but I do think I should make that clear to the House at this point because those discussions are ongoing.
So the Lotus Eaters made a very good point. So the cope is that Epstein was a Russian spy. So if Epstein was a Russian spy, isn't everybody who gave him information guilty of treason then? And shouldn't they all be so we're supposed to believe that the same governments that are all psychotically anti-Russian and will ruin people's lives and careers if there's any rumor of them having connection to Russia, we're all okay with them working for this Russian agent.
Should I clear that up?
I'm going to come to the humble address in a moment, but the Prime Minister cannot blame the process. He did know it was on Google. If the Conservative Research Department could find this information out, why couldn't number 10? On the 10th of September, when we knew this, I asked him at that dispatch box, he gave Mandelson his full confidence at that dispatch box, not once, but twice. He only sacked him after pressure from us. I am asking the Prime Minister something very specific, not about the generalities of the full extent. Can the Prime Minister tell us, did the official security vetting he received mention Mandelson's ongoing relationship with the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein?
So clear. Prime Minister.
Yes, it did. As a result, various questions were put to him. I intend to disclose to this House all of the national security and religion.
I still can't believe this actually happened. Starmer's such a fucking like, why didn't he lie?
Mr. Speaker, I think it is shocking what the Prime Minister has just said. How can he stand up there saying that he knew, but he just asked Peter Mandelson if the security vetting was true or false? This is a man who had been sacked from cabinet twice already for unethical behaviour. That is absolutely shocking. And that is why later today, my party will call on the government to release all documents relating to Mandelson's appointment, not just the ones the Prime Minister wants us to let him choose what we see. The man who have to decide, they refuse.
Mr. Speaker, the first exemption is in relation to anything that could compromise national security. That is not a small matter, and many members on the humble press.
I want to just get to this other part.
Security is wrong in principle. Don't reassure of prejudice.
I just want to get to where they talk about his chief of staff.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister is talking about national security. The national security issue was appointing Mandelson in the first place.
Yeah.
And what he has said about the humble address is a red herring. To those Labour MPs who were not there in the last Parliament, let me tell them, humble addresses already exempt genuine national security. This is not about national security, this is about his job security. His amendment lets him withhold anything to do with international relations. But this whole appointment is to do with international relations. So if they're voting for it, they are voting for the cover-up. If the Prime Minister is Security Committee to decide which...
Okay, let me just find the part about Morgan McSweeney. Sorry. I guess it was later on in this. But I still can't believe
is protected within the disclosure.
If that was really the case, then he wouldn't mind if the ISC had a look. Make it independent. What we want is a and his chief of staff. The ISC is independent. The cabinet secretary works for him. We know that there will be a cover-up because this implicates.
Look at that! Look at that Starmer.
The ISC.
It's amazing. His collapse there.
Had a look. And let's be clear, he says the cabinet secretary makes it non-political, but that doesn't make it independent. What we want is an independent look. The ISC is independent. The cabinet secretary works for him. We know that...
Look at the star. It's like something from a sitcom.
There will be a cover-up because this implicates the Prime Minister and his Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney, a protege of Peter Mandelson. The Prime Minister chose to inject Mandelson's poison into the heart of his government on the advice of Morgan McSweeney. His catastrophic lack of judgment, telling us now that he did know, has harmed the special relationship. It has endangered national security. It's not the humble address, it's him. It's compromised our diplomacy and it has embarrassed our nation. After all of this, does he have the same full confidence in Morgan McSweeney that he had in Peter Mandelson?
Prime Minister.
Morgan McSweeney is an essential part of my team. He helped me change the Labour Party and win an election. Of course I have confidence in him. But
there we go. It's okay that he was Mandelson's best friend who brought in the guy. Like, it's just, to me, kind of shocked. Like, just how blatant it is. like everybody knew about it and just no one cared. No one cared. All these people knew. So, anyways, I got way off topic there. I just wanted to come on and say hi to people. I'll try to do either a bigger video about Epstein or a bigger video about me getting banned and coming back. But just wanted to say hi to everybody.